After 15 months of waiting patiently, it's finally time to bring this Eren Yeager long hairstyle to life. But this time on my own head. Let's begin. Today, I'm going to be taking you guys to the hairdresser with me to get my first cut since October 2020 when I shaved all my long locks off. Remember that? I look like a hobo. And as a lot of you will know, after cutting all my hair off, I became an avid Attack on Titan fan and also became moderately to severely obsessed with Eren Yeager's long hairstyle that was finally revealed in Season 4, Part 1. Now, I do have to explain, at the time of becoming obsessed with Eren's freedom hairstyle, my hair at the time was way too short to even consider trying this style on myself. So with that, I had to make do with what I had, and I did an Eren Yeager inspired hair tutorial on my mannequin head Chad, who we are featuring right here today. A link to that video will be in the cards for you, but today I'm going to be doing the real deal, and I find it so fitting that Season 4 Part 2 is airing as I'm going to get this hairstyle, so I'm actually going to be able to live my Eren fantasy while the show is unfolding. It's wild. Before I do get any further as well, a quick question for any of you other Attack on Titan fans out there. Seeing as it's now been proven that one person can inherit more than one Titan, I mean Eren already has 3 under his belt, which 3 Titans would you choose to inherit and why? I'll be interested to know what you guys say. For me, I'd definitely pick the Warhammer Titan, the Jaw Titan, and the Beast Titan. Let me know yours in the comments. Just for ease as well, I've broken this video down into a few different parts. We've got the intro, which is this part. We've also got what to ask for when you go to the hairdresser. We've also got the styling component to show you how I would personally put the look together, and then I'll show you what it looks like, and then we've got the outro. And with that said, let's move on to what we're actually asking for when we get to the hairdresser. Now, the thing to understand here is there's no one particular right way to achieve the Eren Yeager freedom style, okay? I say this because there's been so many different renditions of this style posted on the internet, and all of them have had a different vibe, and none are, let's say, wrong. It mainly just comes down to the interpretation of how you think the style should translate or look in real life, because let's be real, anime characters have pretty interesting hairstyles that don't always translate into the real world easily, so you kind of just have to make a decision on what you think will embody that character the best and see what happens. It obviously gets a little scarier and riskier when you're doing it for real on your own head, because it could definitely go wrong, and that might even be the outcome for me today. You can never be sure, but I'm not here to fuck spiders, so I am going all in on this one. Now, when it comes to my interpretation of this style, when I first looked at Eren's hair, I was a little like, oh, are they stray hairs? Are they flyaways that have just broken off? Is it deliberate? And the conclusion I came to was that just messily pulling stray hairs out in real life scenarios just looks like shit. And it won't do the hairstyle any justice. So I thought deliberately cutting a lower layer into the hair and keeping the top layer long would not only give an awesome Eren Yeager vibe like Chad's giving us here right now, but it would also provide some versatility should I want to change my look up. For example, if I didn't want to rock the Eren hairstyle one day, I could just release the top layer and cover up the bottom with the longer hair, or I could wear a lowered man bun to completely disguise the shorter layer by blending it into the top layer and tying it all up together. When I was weighing up the pros and cons, doing it this way sounded like a pretty good option to me, and that's what I went ahead and did to Chad's hair in my first Eren Yeager hairstyle video. And lo and behold, it turned out great. So the shorter layer is what I'm going to be going for, and I'm going to be asking Dale to section my hair just around my ear line and take the length from where it is now. If I pull it out, I didn't really want to wreck my hair, but I will. I'm going to ask her to take this longer layer where it is now, just past my collarbone, and get her to trim it just up to the start of my neck, because this is where Eren's hair seems to fall when he has it up. Now I've got to retie my hair again. On top of that, while I'm there, I am going to be asking her to graduate the lower layer as well. What this means is after she's gotten rid of some of that length on the lower layer, she's then going to cut the ends in an upward direction or angle to create a gradual progression of lengths at the bottom, which will then help taper the ends of my hair so they curve down and look a lot more sleek, as opposed to being just one blocky, fat, blunt cut, which with my hair type can be problematic because it's so buffy, and having those ends graduated and tapering in will help my style look a lot sleeker, I believe. When I take you down to Dale shortly, that's exactly what I'll be asking her for. To my knowledge, this all seems doable. However, she is the hairdresser here, and she might tell me that it's a horrible idea, or she might have some other suggestions, which, you know, it's a normal part of going to the hairdresser. Sometimes what you have in mind is completely absurd and undoable, and a good hairdresser will actually tell you you the truth. But ultimately, I'm getting this done regardless, and my main goal with this whole section is just to show you my thought process and how I would actually communicate with a hairdresser to achieve the style that I want. So let's do this, shall we? Off to the salon! Hey guys, I just arrived at Dale's salon and I'm about to go in and set up. I've brought Chad with me to give like an actual visual representation to Dale of what I'm after, but after I set up, I will just film, you know, me talking to her, and I kind of want to make it informal. It's a bit awkward when you get into the hairdresser and pull out a camera and there's other people looking. So yeah, it is so hot in Australia right now. It's the guts of summer. I'm mildly hungover and it just started raining and there's no air conditioning in my car. Love that for me. All right, let's get in.
Yes.
So this is Eren Yeager, and what I did was I cut a lower layer in there. Obviously myself, it's a bit bulky, but this is the general style, and what I wanted to have was longer top, shorter bottom.
Okay, yeah, no, random. Is that so you can get this bit?
Well,
Is that the thought?
so the actual character, right? Like he's got a shorter layer here, but his hair like actually comes down to there, and I was looking at it going like, are they flyaways or what is it? And I just went with this because I thought it's a bit more versatile. Like if you let this down, you can then cover that up if you want to, or you can bun it
How
up.
long is this?
Yeah, probably that down to there. So, and I thought you could disguise it by doing a lower bun, and it just gives it more versatility rather than the actual style. I believe like he's got all of these little flyaways.
Yeah, they could be just growing though.
Yeah, I know.
New hair.
But like when you look at the character, can I borrow your phone to show you him? Is that right? Because I'm filming on
Yeah,
mine.
she's just, oh.
I just want to show you what I'm like picturing. So this is the style, right? In one photo, it looks like he's got a full layer cut in here. But the character, when he wears his hair down, it's like down to his collarbone. And it's like, how does this work? Are they flyaways?
Must be longer.
Yeah, and but then if you look at him again,
Yeah,
so you go here, but then if you just take a couple of flyaways out of this style, it looks like shit. I feel like the look though looks better with a purposeful layer cut into it, rather than when you've only got flyaways hanging out, it just doesn't look good. So really what I want to do is I can like go from my ear line round to the other ear, and then that's where and that's where we'll section it off. And then I think, see how it comes down to roughly my collarbone, but I think if we take it just above like where my neck starts.
For that little bit?
Yeah, so just this section.
Or all of that?
Yeah, because this section has to be shorter than the top.
Yeah,
so,
the top, yeah.
And then if, well, I thought I would be asking.
So obviously this is layered, and that isn't.
I haven't even. I haven't.
You're growing this out.
Yes.
Yeah. So have you ever had a haircut?
No, I haven't the whole time. So yeah, I think if we go from around the ear line and then do whatever feathering you just did to Chad's head before, because I actually thought I'd be asking you to graduate it.
Everything's not working. Little tiny splicing. That's what I do so it stops triangle. Because you get a triangle.
And it's real bulky.
Not with every hair, but this hair definitely, and yours probably would do it too.
Well, yeah, what do you reckon of that? Do you think that's a good plan?
Yeah, right. Because you need to grow your top bit anyway.
Yeah, and I'm only going to let that get longer, and should I like this style like now, then I'll keep it.
So, do we think that's enough, or do we want to cut a little bit more? So we're sort of sitting...
Yeah, I think that's a little bit long.
Yeah, so coming up to pretty much the cape.
I reckon go for it, like, I reckon do it, because I think that's what the look needs.
Well, we get a bit more of that look where it looks like it's fallen out of the pony when you want to wear more up as well. You know how you get those little wisps?
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
Photo or just show you in the mirror?
If you can just show me in the mirror.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that bit there, is that just hooked under? That's
Yeah, so when I wrap the bun over, because this is so long, like I wrapped it over and I've used the excess hair to blend into this.
Okay,
So
looks good. Hanging down like that.
it's cool, isn't it?
I wonder how long your hair would be if it was straightened up there. So we'll just leave this whole bit, yeah?
Yeah.
There's no point cutting it.
And then look, like when I put it
Yeah, you
down,
can't tell.
like it's not so obvious. So if I were to curl it or straighten it out, like it all just kind of sit together.
Yeah.
And then, should I want to like do it up? Oh, this is sick. My idea came to life.
Proud moment when it really happened. Yeah, it still stays up, yeah.
That is wicked. You're a legend. Yeah. Rightio, done and dusted. We've had the layer chopped in. It actually, I'm already loving it. I haven't even done my hair and I still really like how this is looking. I did a little demo just before of, you know, exercising whether tying it up low would work, letting it down. Worked exactly as I planned. Now it's time to get in and actually do the tutorial. So back to the studio. Look at this hair. It's, like I was saying before, it is bloody humid and hot today, and I have got the frizzies going on. The shape already, just like at a glance, is exactly what I wanted, and I really feel like this style is going to work once I work my magic and actually do this tutorial. In this particular section of the video, I did just want to run over products, what I'm using and why, because realistically, you don't have to use products. I mean, it's just a bun with a layer cut in it, right? Like, that's the honest truth. However, I did a video with Jesse's Barbershop not long ago, and we were talking about how product can really be the difference between somebody loving and hating their hair. So I'm a big fan of using product, which is why there are so many on the table. And not only that, my hair type is quite unruly, so using products, particularly in this department, help me sort that out. So I've got two categories. I've got if you're doing heat styling or if you have unruly hair and you want to go the heat styling route. And then over here is what I would call the essentials. We've got a brush. This is to comb back all the hair. And then we've also got two products over here as well. So these are from 7 Potions. This is a salt texturizing spray. It's really good as a primer. So using it as the first product that goes on your hair, and then after you do your styling and whatnot, you can add more product on top of it. But really at a base level, it helps add a bit of texture and grit to the hair, which is definitely gonna come in handy for looking like Eren. And I've also got a styling paste as well. As you can tell, my hair is so frizzy. In my version of the style today, I'm gonna try and avoid the flyaways in the front because I just don't want this mess. Okay, we've got to clean it up, and I think that paste is really going to come in handy for it. 7 Potions sent me a heap of stuff. They sent me their shampoo and conditioner. They sent me a heap of their beard products as well. But these two products in particular, I think are going to be great for this tutorial. And in exchange for product, they've given me a discount code for you guys to use if you are interested in grabbing any of their stuff. The code is TIA7 when you hit their checkout, and it'll give you 15% off everything. The other things we've got is a towel comb, also some bobby pins. We've also got a hair tie. We obviously need that. We've also got these here, which are bungee cords. That's what I call them. This one here is a proper bungee cord because you've got the 2 hooks, and what these are great for is really securing a bun or a ponytail. They're awesome. I love these things. But if you don't have one of these, you can just use 2 bobby pins and a hair tie, and it'll do pretty much the same trick. They're also not mandatory. You could just use a hair tie. But because I am going the whole 9 yards here, I'm doing it properly because that's the way I want to do it. And then I've got these little elastics. These probably aren't mandatory either. They're going to help keep this section out of the way while we work on the top. This is the heat styling department, so I will be using heat styling today. I'm going to add a little bit of water onto my hair, add my smoothing balm, particularly to the bottom here, because I want to straighten this out. I've also got some hair oil, I've got heat protector, I've got my hair straightener, and I've also got a blow dryer. So that's everything that I'm going to be using. I know that sounds like a lot, but if we were to simplify everything here and go, whoa, there's no way in hell I could be bothered using that many products, I totally understand. You can pretty much go with, I would say, a texturizing spray, a hair tie, and maybe some paste. Oh, and probably a brush. 4 things. That's really all you're gonna need. But if you're in my world, or if you've got hair remotely like me and you want to do a good job, then I just use bloody everything. So now without further ado, I'm gonna get rid of this table, and I'm actually gonna sit in front of the mirror and do my hair and do a voiceover, because I feel like that's always a better way to educate. Let's do this hairstyle because we now have it. Check it out. First things first, Rick and Morty shirt. Cool. To begin with, it's important to make sure the shorter layer we just had cut into the hair is completely separate from the longer. Mine here is pretty spot on because I just left Dale's salon, but if I was doing this on my own, I'd get my handheld mirror and check the back until it's right. Next, I'm going to grab some of the small elastics and band the lower layer to get it out of the way while I'm working on the top. From there, I'm going to dampen my hair with a spray bowl and make it easier to work with, and then evenly apply my smoothing balm and 7 Potions texturizing spray to the top section as my base products. The smoothing balm helps close my frizzy cuticles and will activate once I start blow drying with heat, and the texturizing spray will give my hair that extra grit that I'm looking for in the final result. Next, I'm going to grab my comb and my blow dryer with the smoothing nozzle and a low heat setting and start smoothing out the entire front section to eliminate my flyaways as much as possible. Eren typically has flyaways in the front, but as explained earlier, I'm opting to leave them out because I just feel like it's going to look better. After the front is smoothed out, I'm then going to apply a bit of 7 Potion styling paste to give the front section that extra bit of hold to ensure my flyaways remain under control throughout this whole process. Once that's done, it's time to secure the top section in place just above the section line where the shorter layer and the longer layer divide before securing the hair into a ponytail with my bungee cord. The reason I'm using the bungee cord here is to make sure the foundation of this style is completely secure and won't go anywhere. Once I'm happy with the placement of the ponytail and it's feeling secure, I'm going to grab my regular hair tie and wrap it into a bun. In this step, while I'm creating the bun, I'm paying close attention to making sure the ends of the hair are poking out of the bottom of the hair tie, and I'm going to be wisping these around later. Once the top section's done, I'm going to release the lower section and repeat the same base process that I did on top. If you recall, we dampen, add our base products, and then start smoothing with the blow dryer. Instead of using my comb to do the smoothing this time, I'm going to use my round brush to really smooth this lower layer out, and then finish up by using my hair straightener. After I'm happy with the lower layer, I'm going to add a bit of hair oil just for the finishing touches and give the entire style a once over to make sure I'm happy with it, and then we're done. This is the final result. The base is looking smooth but textured, the bun is secure and wispy, and the lower layer is smooth, and I'm now living my Eren fantasy. Hang on, let me just get into character and do that slouchy head tilt that he does. Love it. And the hair we go. Chad and I are definitely looking like twinsies right now. Check it out. Yes, yes. Whilst I was styling my hair, actually, I was thinking about what this would look like in all different variations, because my typical curly hair, right, if I just wore all of it curly, like on a day where I put mousse in and actually did my curly routine and tied it up, I have a feeling I'd then really embody the Jon Snow look. If you recall back when Game of Thrones was on, he did have that shorter layer in the back, or what looked like a shorter layer in the back. So when this goes curly, I'm going to be really interested. I even thought I could straighten all of my hair and tie it up. That way I would get more of a wispy look like what Chad does have. However, I decided to leave mine curly just to see how that went, and I actually really like how the look turned out. I think this is a keeper. I am not disappointed. Thank you so much, Dale. For anybody in the Gold Coast that wants to go and visit Dale, her hair salon is called Hairworks 2.0. It used to be called Hairworks on Chevron, but it's now Hairworks 2.0, and she's in Mount Nathan on the Gold Coast. So yeah, she's a great hairdresser. She always does exactly what I ask. We always have good banter when we're in the chair as well, and I hope you guys enjoyed that segment where I took you down and showed you how I actually would talk to her. Obviously, not everyone's lucky enough to take like a literal mannequin head in and go, look, this is what I want. Sometimes you do have to explain it, but while I was in the chair, I got pictures of Eren out. I showed her, I gave her the down low on who he is. Like, it's really about getting in sync with your hairdresser. We also talked about how people do hop around from hairdresser to hairdresser, and this is usually a recipe for disaster. It's best to go back to like 1 or 2 people, like I've been going to Josh and Dale for like 10 years, because they end up really knowing what you like. They know how to work with your hair over time. You build a relationship with them, and then you also build trust. So you know that most times when you go into their salon, they're gonna look after you, which is exactly what happened with me and Dale today. We were trying to work out when we actually met, and it turns out I met her when I was 15, and my friend was doing an apprenticeship in her salon. That's how we actually met. And I'm now 28, and I've never been disappointed with the job that Dale's done. So building those relationships is really worth it. For any of the products that I used in the styling segment, whether you want to go full gun ho like I did, or if you just want to use the hair tie and some of the styling products, all of those products will be listed in the description box for you. And don't forget, 7 Potions is offering you 15% off at their checkout with the code TIA7. Nice and simple, that one, isn't it? Yeah, no, I'm really appreciative that they sent me over some products. You can see my hair is quite nice and textured. I'm really loving this vibe. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a massive thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to tell me which 3 Titans you'd inherit if you could choose 3 of them. And with that said, I'm going to watch the 3rd episode of Season 4 Part 2 right now, because it's out today as I'm launching this video. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the season as well. I am on the edge of my seat just seeing what happens. To all the people that have already read the manga and already know what happens, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I want to watch the subbed version, because I actually do that now. I'm not waiting for the English. I'm just trying to keep up with the Japanese subs, and yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I'm a seasoned professional now. Thanks so much for coming back, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!